For people who may not be familiar with your work, how many New York Times bestsellers do you have now? 6, 7, 12, 20?
Yes, 7.
That's incredible. Lucky number 7. 3 have just about killed me. I'm not sure I have more books in me, but you didn't start off writing books,
right.
As I understand it. What was the path that you took to get to writing your first book?
What's funny is I recently had my family send everything I'd ever written, just all my old, grade school stuff here. And I thought I just had written my first book later in life than I actually did, but it turned out when I was in second grade, I wrote a book and I tried to get it. Maybe it might have been a little later than second, maybe fourth grade, however old you are when you're 11. I actually wrote a book, tried to get it published, sent it out to publishers with a note saying, hey, and to agents, and wrote an entire book, which not only did it get rejected, but I never got a single response back from a single agent or publisher, so it really inured me to rejection, which is cool. Like, who would not send a letter back to some poor kid?
It makes me have even less sympathy for the traditional publishing world than I already do, perhaps. But you really sort of honed your teeth or cut your teeth, I guess the expression is, as a journalist, right? New York Times and other places?
Yeah, I wrote for the New York Times for 10 years and Rolling Stone for ever.
And speaking of rejection, you have, I remember, a letter, I believe, from Phil Collins framed on your wall. I had a review to Phil Collins concert, and it wasn't that good. It's at the New York Times. And I was really trying to be gentle in the review, but I guess he got upset by it, and I get in the mail this 2-page handwritten screed. And the last words are, well, Neil, fuck you, Phil Collins. And wasn't it on hotel stationery, if I remember correctly, or something like that?
It was from the Peninsula Hotel, so I called his publicist just to make sure that it wasn't a fake, and no, he was there staying at the Peninsula Hotel. And I think later on TV he said that he had someone told me I saw an interview where he regretted writing this letter. And it's funny because, I did a book of my interviews called Everyone Loves You When You're Dead. And it just really goes to show you that everybody out there who's succeeding on a high level in this culture has this persecution thing going on. No one I've interviewed doesn't feel, if you really get down to it, feel like they're not respected by their peers, they're not respected by the press, nobody understands them, no one understands what they're doing. And we're talking not, even beyond Phil Collins level, like Chuck Berry level, who invented rock and roll, and it seems that as long as you're living, and it depends on what you pay attention to, you will always get criticized as you're doing great things, and the greater they get, the greater the criticism becomes.